So there's some people who have an upward face. At rest, their mouth is either neutral or angled up. At rest, their eyes are angled a little bit up or out to the side. I have the kind of face where at rest, my mouth points down, which looks a lot like sadness. So the universal expression for sadness is a frowny face. We pull our corners of our mouth down into a little upside down U. Well, at rest, my face already looks like an upside down U. So people always ask me, are you okay? Are you angry? Are you upset? And I'm always like, it's just my face. It's just my face. This is
So many
incredible.
people, so many miscommunications, so many marriages, so many business
Yeah.
interactions are just somebody's face is the way it is, right?
Yes. So one, don't blame yourself. This is a real thing. It's just your facial features. And the second thing is you need to know what your default is. Do you look sad? Do you look angry? Do you look tired? Do you look confused? And one, you have two choices here. One is you can be very verbal about this. So I talk about this all the time, right? I go on shows and I say, just so you know, I have resting bothered face. So if I look like I'm upset, I'm not. I'm totally happy to be here. My husband, boy, he knows my resting bothered face. He knows that's just me at neutral.
Yeah.
That's
He
just me at
knows
neutral.
he knows your real bothered face, so he knows
Oh
when
yeah.
you're being cool.
Oh yeah. And he knows when I say I'm fine, I'm not fine. He knows. So being very verbal about it with people in your life. Second is knowing how to counteract it. So for example, I know that at rest, because of my facial features, I look sad. So I know in my first impression, especially with a client or on a podcast or in a video interview or in a negotiation, I need to make sure that in the first few seconds of the interaction, I make it clear, non-verbally, vocally, and verbally, that I'm happy to be here, that I'm grateful, that I'm very, very appreciative of their time. So I work a little harder. I dial up in those first 10 or 15 seconds to make sure I can smile if I genuinely feel like smiling, but sometimes I don't. I'm verbally using words of appreciation. So, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I'm also using a happy tone of voice. So like, listen to the difference. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here, right? Like I know I'm making sure that I'm dialing up, and that way we can take control of the cues that maybe aren't working for us and making sure that we're showing people what we want them to see.
Because that first impression is important. I mean, that's an
Oh,
old school phrase, never get a second chance. And
that's
so I
right.
think what happens is when you make a good first impression, people then give you grace. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just who you are, it's how you're wired. It's, okay, and they give you grace. Oh, like she's got a good attitude, she's got good energy, and they
Yes.
give you that grace, and then they're not focused on the features because that's not the first thing they see anymore.
You just nailed it. It's exactly that. It's if you can make those first few seconds positive, it's like a lever for your entire rest of your interaction. As long as the first few seconds are positive, it's going to be way easier for the rest. And researchers actually proved that. They found that our first impressions are about 76% lasting, meaning we make 76% of our impression of someone in the first few seconds of seeing them. So if you show up positive in those first few seconds, that helps you for the entire rest of the interaction.